People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right. This is our second podcast with Jim Spinnato. HolyShitJim.com. He's the one who works at the Mohegan Sun. I think for 13 years now. He invited us up to come perform for him. We had a great time. Everybody, it's Jim Spinnato. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? I love you guys for coming up, man. That was such a blast, man.
It was a great time. It was
a good me too. The best part is I made 2 new friends with you guys. That was the best part.
Dude, you were like family. It was weird because you approached us and said, hey, can we be on the podcast? I'm like, all right. Sometimes that doesn't go so well, but okay, do it. But we had all kinds of friends that were mutual friends, all kinds of mutual friends.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with you after that first podcast.
Thanks, man.
And like, all right, well, you can come up and perform. We'd love to have you. But yeah, it's 9 hours. You know, we're there, dude.
Yep, let's do it.
And I fell in love with you even more after that weekend. You are a great guy. You're a big teddy bear. You're awesome.
I love it. I love
you took care of not only me, but my wife. You made sure my kids had food. You made sure everybody took care of you. You were awesome, man.
Well, thank you. I love you guys for making the trip. It was a blast, man. It was a blast. Jesus. I wish if you lived closer, holy shit, you'd be with me every week.
Oh, that'd be great. So let's talk about this trip, man. It was 9 hours up for us.
9 hours. With 3 kids and a babysitter and a wife.
Yep.
And doves and rabbits. And doves and a rabbit.
Yeah, that's right too. Yeah.
Yeah. She made me put the doves in the trailer because they coo at nighttime and kept her up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But so we drive up to you and we took our time because we had a day for travel.
Yeah.
So we got all the way to New Jersey, the last exit New Jersey, right at about 11 o'clock. And that's when we start putting the kids to bed. And I was like, honey, we only have like 2 more hours. Why don't I just go? We could sleep in the parking lot, Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
No, we have to put the kids together. We have to keep our routine together.
I wanted my sleep because I knew it was gonna be a long weekend, and I wanted to be able to sleep. I didn't know.
But hindsight, was I right? Please say I was.
I don't know if you were right, but we didn't pick a good spot to stop.
Anyway,
put it that way.
You won't say it.
Jim, we stopped at a truck stop, last exit, and trucks were they were letting off their air brakes. They were pulling in, pulling out, fueling in, fueling up, honking the horn. Somebody got beside us. They hadn't seen each other in a while, and they were talking. And those walls in the RV feel paper thin when somebody's 2 feet from you. And I think she was up all night.
It wasn't a good night's sleep.
If we'd have just drove to Mohegan Sun, you'd have had a better night's sleep.
Picked a different place to park.
If we'd have just drove to Mohegan, she won't admit it, man. Anyway,
Crazy.
so yeah.
Crazy.
But so the morning that we go to you, we get stuck in traffic, and I'm just dead stopped for over an hour.
Where was that? In New Jersey or Connecticut? Or?
It was up in New York. Maybe it was in Connecticut at that point.
I don't know.
Connecticut can suck for traffic at times.
Yeah.
But it was a 4-car pileup, and it looked like somebody hit a car in the side with a golf ball. Was the only damage we saw, and it was just stopping traffic. It was ridiculous. But I call you, and I'm like, hey, I'm just in a gridlock. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? No problem. You scheduled so much extra time. You're good. I know, but I'm literally stopped on the road. I was afraid I was messing everything up.
It worked out, man. It worked out.
It did work out. It did work out.
I think we got there at 1 instead of 12.
Yeah.
Was all.
Yeah. And that was still plenty of time.
Yeah.
By the way, give me a second because let me close these blinds because I see a whole bunch of sunlight. Right? You see the sunlight?
You're good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Do
whatever. Okay? Is it all right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're good.
You'll have to excuse these prescription sunglasses. I'm sensitive to light and it's really bright over here, so that's why I'm wearing these. I hope that's okay.
That's another reason why we love you. You're sensitive.
I am sensitive.
Dude, so we get to your club and you offer to carry all of our stuff in. We're like, no, we got it taken care of. We got everything. You're like, let me drive around. You don't have to park that far.
No, how the hell do you do it?
We had a big rig. I mean,
a big rig. That's an understatement.
That's an understatement.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Not many people in our podcast have seen our RV. What did you think of it?
It's can I say anything I want?
Well, go for it. Go for it.
Well, it was huge. It was big.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
It was nice, man. It was nice. I got a little. Your wife gave me a little walkthrough. It was great. It was so cool. Yeah.
So we go in to go see his place, and you go through a restaurant, and the nightclub's in the back, and man, it was so great. And I'm a big fan of comedy, so you got all these magicians on the wall, and I'm just doing this. And you've been there.
Magicians, yeah. Okay.
No, comedians.
Yeah.
Did I say magician?
You said magician.
You got all these comedians on the wall, and I'm looking at it's not a headshot. It's like a flat head thing that they have, the picture of their head on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I know him. I know him. I know him. I know him. Wow, this is awesome. And you're like, comedians. I've seen them. I've been there, done it so long. It's nothing to you. But for me.
Yeah. After all these years, I'm just like, yeah. I mean, up to here. Yeah, I really should start a wall. I'm gonna ask the club about this. I should start a wall with a magic wall, huh? With pictures of the machines.
That would be awesome.
I'm gonna ask him next week. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah,
dude, I'll mail in my big fat head. That'd be great.
You're not to mail in yours, but don't mail it. Just mail your wife's in. That'll be fine.
All right. But dude, that club was amazing. And one of the things that I was really shocked at was like. When I started doing my set, I looked out and you were still like walking backstage and just getting a cup of coffee, not cup of coffee, but whatever. You were getting a drink. He doesn't drink coffee. And he was just doing his own thing and tinkering around. I'm like, he's not even watching my set. And then, because I noticed, right? And then at the end of the show, you come out and you do your spot. And that night, you're like, dude, your set was awesome.
I watched the whole thing.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, the video footage, he gets video footage emailed to him like 10 minutes after the show.
Yeah,
so cool. And it's a better view than in the back of the room. That video file where that camera's angled, that's the best seat in the house, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But I saw your set. I probably was walking around because I was looking for a few things. But I was watching your set.
Yeah, I mean, you missed the first minutes, but yes.
We were talking about your set last night. I told you I worked with Marietta last night, and at dinner, I was talking about you guys, and he asked about your set, and I told him about that goddamn Play-Doh routine because that Play-Doh routine fooled all of us.
That's awesome. That's
good. It was great. It was great, and we talked about that after the meeting as well a couple of nights ago because that threw us all off.
That's good.
Yeah. You're juggling 3 balls of Play-Doh, then you mold it together into a bird, and the bird comes out of the center. It was like, holy shit. It was great. So I was telling Mary about it yesterday. That was perfect. That was really, really perfect.
So I got to give credit. So Jason Burns did a routine very similar to that in World's Greatest Magic.
Yeah.
But his wink wink magic trick was different. His I don't want to reveal it.
I get it. No, I get it.
But yeah, it was different. And
but the way you presented it kicked ass, man. I mean, all of us were like, whoa.
Yeah, and his was just real fast, boom, and that was it.
Yeah.
Mine is I milk it. Yeah.
It was so great because I'd never seen a magician work with Play-Doh before.
That's awesome.
It was good. Listen, man. That whole set was terrific. The whole night was terrific. The weekend was fun. I mean, it was a blast.
Good, man. Because when I left, I was like, man, because we didn't do the dove trick. The dove finds a card. But in the introduction to that, I talk about my family and being on the road in the RV. So I didn't get to get that part out. And it's hard to pick and choose just 20 minutes of something that you've taken years to put together and string along. So
I appreciate you adapting to that. I know you were limited on time.
No,
you adapted well. I appreciate that. The club loved it. Everybody loved it, man.
Good. Yeah. We were flavor of the week. He's had 6 other magicians there since us, though.
Yeah.
So you said you have a banquet tonight and a banquet tomorrow for magic. Is this just magic clubs?
Yeah, there's a magic club in Hartford, Connecticut, which is having their thing tonight, which I completely forgot about until the other day. And then tomorrow is my club's banquet, and then Wednesday is another club's banquet. And then I do the shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's a full week of magic, which, it's great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, wait, let me interrupt you because I meant to ask you about this because you said this on stage or at dinner. I didn't realize you were Italian.
Yeah, man. My great grandfather moved from Italy to West Virginia to be a horse trader.
No.
Horses, yeah. So
What part of Italy do you know?
She thinks it's Switzerland.
There's a lot of Isleys in Switzerland, and they speak Italian.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if it's some in Switzerland, some in Italy, just kind of a mixture. I'm wondering. But yeah.
So my grandfather only spoke Italian, very little English. And my dad only spoke the alphabet in Italian. He only knew the alphabet.
Oh, wow. Did you know your grandfather?
No, he was gone before. Mom had 5 miscarriages. So I have a sister that's 18 years older than me, a brother that's 9 years older than me, and then me. But there was 5 miscarriages in there. So I was kind of later in life.
Is your dad full-blooded Italian?
As far as I know.
Yeah. See, that's why I love you so much. See, there's not many of us left.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I'm probably I'm a mutt now because Mom was a mutt. So yeah. But no, we had a great time, man. One of the things I got to tell you though is that New York bravado, that New York attitude, that people it's different than in the South, man. It's just different. Yeah. I'm used to walking by people and I'm like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. That's just what I do. Not like I'm Canadian. It's not one of those things, but it's if I'm walking in front of somebody at the grocery store, excuse me, you know, we were carrying all of our animals because our show was already in for that Sunday show. And Trans-Siberian Orchestra had sold 10,000 tickets that place.
Excuse me. Yes, there was packed that weekend.
And I'm trying to get through with my wife and daughter and animals. And I'm like, excuse me, excuse me. And I walk up to one guy and I'm like, excuse me, what do you want me to do?
No, sir. He did?
And I just moved in front of him. It's like, what are you going to fight? You're going to see a Christmas play. What are you going to fight me?
Oh my God. Some people, man.
It was just funny. It was very, very New York attitude. I felt like I was in an episode of Sopranos. It was like,
oh my God.
What do you want me to do about it? Well, move, maybe. I don't know, but I didn't want to say anything. So.
Well, you know, sometimes the casino can draw the casino draws all kinds of people, and you never know if someone just lost a couple of grand. They're all pissed off at everybody. You know, you never know. But still, you're right. You're there for a Christmas event, and
he was in line for the Christmas Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yeah.
What a smart ass, right?
Yeah. He needed spirit. But boy, let's talk about that casino. How beautiful is that place? It was
beautiful. And they had their decorations up already it was the weekend after Thanksgiving. Christmas decorations were all up. It was really, really pretty.
Yeah, isn't it nice there?
It is.
So one of the things that I've learned in all my years of doing magic and working beautiful resorts and millionaire parties, I try not to take it for granted. Do you just go in there and take it for granted, or are you still in awe about it? I mean,
well, the casino opened up in '96, and as you know, I like to gamble a little bit, so I'm there. I've been there every week since 1996, but I've only been performing there for 13 years, and I'm still in awe of that. Still, yeah. I mean, I walk. Yeah, man. I mean, I have a residency at a major casino. How can I not be in awe of that every day?
Right.
It's just great. And what's really fun for me, as I told you before, is my show's at 5, as you know. I'll get there at 9 in the morning. I'll set up my magic, and then I'll go into the poker room, play some poker, then come back and do a show with you and have dinner. It's the perfect day.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, it's the place is beautiful. They have a shopping mall in the middle. Yeah. They took the candy shop. She loved that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you found the candy shop there?
Yes.
Yeah. Dylan, I think it was called Dylan's, right?
I am not sure.
I have no idea. She wanted to use her own money. She makes her own allowance. She makes her own money helping in shows. So she wanted to use her.
Oh, I forgot about the candy shop. Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 casinos that are connected by a mall. The original casino, which we were in, was the original casino. Then they added the mall in the second casino several years back. And then there's the hotel wasn't always there. I think they built the hotels early 2000s, I think. And then the second hotel they built just several years ago. It's really big, man. It's huge.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
It is huge. You have to definitely pay attention where you're going when you're following people so you can find your way back.
Yeah.
So, but it's beautiful. And the huge waterfall was awesome. And the fact that there's a restaurant behind it too is kind of cool.
Yeah, the restaurant's inside that rock. Next time you come up, I'll be better planned. The next time you come up, I'll make a reservation at all those restaurants so we can go in there.
Oh, cool.
Well,
Yeah.
That's fun.
when are we going again, Nat?
I don't know. When we coming
Yeah,
again?
man. You listen.
Coming again.
You tell me, and I'll blow off who's ever scheduled. Whatever you want. But yeah, what you ought to do, you should schedule some other shows up in this area.
Well, we were talking when we did the lecture for you guys. We were talking about going up to Maine because the other guy that was there said he had a whole lecture circuit for 8 lectures in Maine.
Who was that?
What was his name?
I know it. It's just on the tip of my tongue.
One of my guys?
He came. Yeah. Well, no, he came in. He gave me a hug, and he's with SAM. He used to be the vice president.
Oh, that's Tom Gentile?
Gentile, yes. Thank you.
Tom Gentile's a former SAM president. But he lives in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So he wanted me to do the 8 lecture circuit up there.
Well, yeah. Listen, let's do that. I mean, if you want, yeah. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be easy to do.
Well, and
then we can come by you at the same
of
time.
course. Yeah, please.
But doing these lectures isn't about the money. It's about hanging out with magician friends and just sharing the love and all of that. I love magic. So it gives me a reason, pays for gas, hotel room. It's like a paid vacation. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, we all feel the same way too. I mean, the people who do the club with me, they're not there for the money, as you know. It's just we hang, we have dinner afterwards. It's just great. The lecture kicked ass, by the way. Everybody loved that.
Good. It's not scripted. It's not planned like that. So you get those lectures where they have, all right, this trick, I have 6 jokes for this trick, and it's scripted like a show. I book lectures so infrequently. I'm like, I got a lot to tell you. I can keep going.
You should put that little New England tour together with Tom. I'm telling you, it'd be great.
Yeah, we'll get it done. I got his card downstairs on the desk. You just got to do it in the spring. When we figure it out, though, we'll book you in because we want to come back.
Please. I'll actually. I think. Let me look at my. I think I might see Tom tomorrow. Next time I see him, I'll tell him that you might be interested in. He might be hearing from you guys.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, she's the boss.
Sure.
You also you have major events come through there. So while we were there at your casino, Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars had sold like 8,000 tickets.
Yeah.
So I'm parked at the end of the parking lot. So I want to be out of the way because I'm going to spend a couple of days there.
Yeah.
And when I go in, parking lot's empty. There's like 15 cars near the building. Yeah. When I come out after the show that night, I'm going through a sea of cars, man. I'm like, oh no, I might be totally surrounded. But Trans-Siberian Orchestra was even crazier because that was like 10,000 seaters, and they did like 2 shows that day.
But we were so far enough back that we weren't surrounded.
Yeah. It was crazy. The size shows that you guys have there.
It's nuts. I mean, Bruce Springsteen has come through several times, and Sting and Tool just sold out 2 massive shows, and man, that's the only venue I like to go to now because it's relatively small in terms of arena. It's only 10,000 people, which is nice. It's comfortable, and it's in my backyard too, so that's nice. Plus, my son-in-law runs the arena, so that's nice too. But it's a good place. That's what you ought to do. You ought to look and see who's coming for a concert, someone that you like. We'll schedule the show with me, and then I'll get you tickets for the concert, and then you can leave to Massachusetts, do a tour. Look at that.
Well, I'll talk to Penn and Teller. We'll get them booked out there. Then we can all hang out together.
They were just in Boston last night.
Yeah.
A friend of mine called me this morning and said they were great.
They're making up that those pandemic dates, man. They're still making them. Yeah.
I wonder if they're doing your coin. I meant to ask Pete, my friend. I wonder if they did your coin toss last night. Do you think they're doing?
I don't know. We saw them in Maryland a little while ago, and they didn't have it in the show.
Right.
But it comes and goes. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Who knows? If you really want to know, you could ask John Lovick, because he how people do Bruce Springsteen sets. They he's good with this, and then he closed with this, and then he did this right before the break. John Lovick writes down their set list on every show. Yeah.
I was just talking about John last night because I didn't realize that he bought the rights to Harry Anderson's that grappler thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had the rights. Someone told me that last night that Lovick bought that.
Yeah, I know he was using it. I didn't know he bought the rights to it, but it's what a great piece. It's so phenomenal. Yeah, he did here in Virginia last month. Kills.
Who, John did?
Yeah, he came Ring 50, the IBM Ring 50 in DC.
Yeah.
Had their 75th anniversary of a club.
Oh, wow.
So they had Whit Hayden, they had John Lubbock, Kayla Drescher, Chris Capehart. That might have been it. And then we did a 5-course meal, and then we had a show, and then they did awards and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great night.
You know, Kayla's a Connecticut kid.
Yeah.
Kayla, I know Kayla like I know my own kid. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Now, where's she at now? She's in Chicago now.
She's in Chicago now. Yeah, she lives in Connecticut, from Connecticut. That's how I met her. And then she moved to Vegas for a while. Then she went to California for a while. And now her and her boyfriend Harrison are in Chicago. Really nice kids. Really nice kids. And Kayla's done the club for me a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Whit Hayden, I love Pop Hayden. I love Pop Hayden, man.
Dude, I got to have dinner right beside him, right next to Chris Capehart. They put me at the performers table because I'm a celebrity, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just, I felt like I'd known Pop my whole life, and that was the first time I ever met him. Just laid back, really cool, great guy.
How about Chris? How cool is Chris?
Hey, he's a nut. He's crazy.
Yeah. You want to hear my Chris Capehart story? Can I tell you this?
We're recording. Is it okay?
Yeah. I didn't tell you about the parking garage.
Yeah, go for it. I don't know.
So he's doing the casino for me. So he calls me. He goes, "I can't find a parking space." I go, "Well, I have reserved parking on the second floor." I said to him, "So I'll meet you on the first floor. We'll drive to the second floor. I'll swipe my card so you can park because you can't find a parking space, and then we'll do the show." Okay. So he paid. Chris. So he picks me up. We drive to the second floor. I get out of his van. I swipe my card. So the gate lifts. All right. So when the gate lifts, he takes off. And I'm going, Chris, he's not waiting for me, right? So finally, he must have heard me yell him. So he stops. So now I'm walking toward him, and he's looking at me in the rearview mirror. I'm not paying attention. And the gate comes down, hits me on the top of my head, it drops me to my knees. I had no idea what the hell had happened. It dropped me to my knees. I get up, and Chris is still just looking at me in his rearview mirror, just looking at me. I dropped to the ground. I got in his car, and he never said 2 words to me about it.
Goodness. He didn't say, "Are you okay?" or anything.
No, nothing. You okay, Jim? You heard Jim? Anything? No. I got back in, and we drove and we parked.
Wow.
Maybe he thought you'd be embarrassed, so he didn't want to.
Oh my God. I had no idea what the hell just hit me. I just dropped to my knees. Then there was another couple, and I started laughing. They're going, "You okay? You okay?" "Yeah, I'm all right." "Did Chris Capehart ask me if I was okay?" "No."
Tell him show starts in 40 minutes. Come see me.
So that's my Chris Capehart story, who's the coolest dude in the world, man. Chris is the only guy that can do 28 minutes of card magic and not be boring.
Wow.
28 minutes. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. I love him. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing that was crazy about your place, we used to watch that Carlos Bakery show.
Yeah.
We watched it. It was just because they played like episode back to back to back.
Yeah.
And my mom would watch it with my little girl. She's passed away since. But she would watch it, my little girl, just on a loop. And my little girl loved it. And while she was cross-stitching or sewing or whatever downstairs, my wife and little girl would watch it. And then they had a Carlos Bakery at the place.
Yeah.
So I had to buy her and the babysitter some kind of big cookie.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
She got an M&M cookie sandwich with the the icing on the inside or something. But it was massive.
Great, right?
Wow.
$12.
Hold on, man. Hold on. This sunlight is bugging me. Hold on.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Sorry. There we go. That's better. I don't know if it's any better. But yeah, and the cannolis there. Whew, that's how I got so fat, man. Oh my God. That bakery is the bomb. Oh my God.
That's great. But that's what, we were going to have dinner and hang out with you. But dinner was just so loud and so crazy when I was there because of Derek Huff having
it was
4,000
busy.
people. Yeah. It's not usually that busy when you have shows there, huh?
Well, if there's a concert, if there's a concert, people always eat there before the concert. Always.
Yeah.
It's always busy. But that was exceptionally busy that night. Yeah.
I could tell by the look on your face it was exceptionally busy because he was like, he kept looking around.
Well, I couldn't figure out why they sat me. Usually they sit me in a certain spot, and I didn't know why they had put us there, but it was the only available seat. So,
And it might have been because of
Yeah.
the babies. It might have been because of the babies.
We had so many people. Yeah.
It was fun. What are you kidding? It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you got me excited. You got me excited about this little tour that you're talking about with the lectures in Massachusetts and Maine. That is so easy to put together. Like, whew.
well, Tom Gentile's got it together. He says all I have to do is just give him the dates. So
yeah, I'm okay. I'm looking forward to you possibly putting it together then.
I said, all right, well, our January's not booked yet. What do you want to do? He said, maybe you ought to wait because it's snow up there.
Yeah.
Okay, right. With the RV, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
But if we're just doing lectures and his show, we really don't need the trailer. We could just store everything in the RV, right?
We gotta still have room to sleep.
Yeah, but we don't need.
Well, these
I don't
people,
think trailer.
Okay.
these people will put you up, man.
Yeah.
Every like when I have a lecture, I mean, you didn't need it, but when I have a lecture, I always put the people up.
Yeah.
In the hotel.
RV.
That's got to be part of your fee, man. Your fee plus a room.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we usually do that with resorts and things.
Yeah.
But our RV it's pretty nice. We don't mind it so much. It's just trying to figure out once you pile more stuff in, then you have to have room to sleep. So we're trying to figure that out logistically.
Mm-hmm.
But if I put it up above the TV, that's where you have the luggage. We can make it work without pulling the trailer all the way up there, I think. Or underneath the bed.
Well,
Yeah.
give us some thought. Give us some thought.
Yeah.
That'd be great, man. Oh, that'd be great.
Well, pulling the trailer, it just adds more logistics and parking and things.
And gas money.
And gas, but logistics and parking, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But dude, all right. So
Listen.
I go to lecture for you guys, and I'm like, all right, well, I have a couple ideas, and I have a couple things I'm going to talk about. I don't know. How long do you need it to be? How long do you want it to be? I don't know how even long you want your lecture. How long did I go? 3 hours?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But it wasn't boring, was it? I wasn't boring.
First of all, you were there for 3 hours, but we took a big break, so you know it wasn't a constant 3 hour. It wasn't a constant 3 hour lecture, but it was.
But I'm passionate. Can you tell? I'm passionate.
Of course.
Golly. No,
I'll tell you. You know what? You know what happened with me on that lecture? Many years ago, I was doing stag parties for a living. I was the alternative to strippers. I would never do a stag party if there was a stripper there. I was the guy. Okay, so I did stand-up comedy magic, and one trick that kicked ass for those 5 years was a trick that you did that we talked about, the Carol Fox thing, the torn corner card. And when you started to do it again, I thought, holy shit, I have to start doing that trick because it's really good. So I've started doing that again, thanks to you. I forgot all about it. Then when you did it, and then we talked about it, you and I think the next day, and I'm going to add that back in. So I did. It's a great trick. It's a great trick.
It's fantastic. We just did a close-up set the other night, and I closed my tables with it. If I wasn't closing with a coin trick, I close with hopping half a lot of times.
Oh, wow.
And how many coins? How many coins? How many coins? No, it's a 2-coin trick. No, it's a 2-coin trick. How many coins? No, the trick's over. I have other tables. I got to go. That's how I end it. But that one, once you restore that card and they match the corners, it's hard to beat.
I had completely forgot about it. So again, when I saw you, I thought, I've got to start doing this again because it's a really good trick. It got a good reaction that night from my guys. It's real. So anyway, so thanks.
Hey, no problem. No problem. So it took us 9 hours to get to you, and it took us 12 hours to get home.
Oh my God.
No, one of your guys told us.
Oh yeah, Pete.
We told him that we went right through the George Washington Bridge and went through New Jersey's corner and all that. He's like, no, you go this other road. You can afford all of that.
And all the tolls, except for maybe one, I think.
Yeah. We haven't got the bills in the mail, so we don't know how many we avoided. Yeah. But it did take longer, but it was.
Oh, it took 3 hours longer?
It was a lot calmer. It was a lot calmer from that.
It was calmer, but there's still a little bit of traffic. And then we stopped for dinner just to be able to get out, stretch legs, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you take that route again?
Take the other route over New Jersey. Yeah, because somebody in New Jersey we're driving an RV and it's New Jersey traffic.
Yeah.
And some lady tried to go over 3 lanes in front of me. An old lady, she had a little rag on her head, like my grandma used to wear. But she pulled over in front of me and then slammed on her brakes. I'm in an RV. So I have a tow package, which helps me brake even faster. If I didn't have that on,
But it's still
that would have been a wreck.
Yeah.
But I slammed the brakes and my babysitter was feeding the boys.
Oh.
So she ended up between us and her feet were in the air. And she got up and walked to the back, and I just kind of looked at the clock, and I waited 10 minutes to ask her if she was all right, because I know her adrenaline was through the roof. She thought we were, she went a good 5 feet forward and ended up on her butt between us.
Yeah.
But to avoid traffic like that, just nonsense, just painment like that, you feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I drive that RV. We've put over 100,000 miles on it in a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm used to driving it, but it's the people around you that aren't used to being around you.
They want to beat the big car, and then they're not thinking about how slow the big car can actually brake, and so they pull right in front of you. And that's when you get into trouble.
But I can put the speedometer, I can put the speed limit, the cruise control on 75. I mean, it goes. Yeah. It'll go. But it doesn't stop like a motorcycle.
No.
Right. So, anyway. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up all that. Does that wrap up everything? What else do we have? Anything else?
Just a really good time. I can't wait to come back now. We get that together and we'll get to come back.
Dude,
thank you. I just love you guys for doing that for me, man. It was a blast. The whole week it was just so much fun.
Yeah. We were sitting in the RV after show number 1. I got my feet up. The boys are just running around the RV. Natalie's in the back watching television. Lana's sitting there on her couch playing. Willow's in her bunk bed watching her iPad. And you text me and you're asking for pictures of my house, and I'm texting you all that stuff. And then you sent me the video, and I could watch the video of my performance that just happened an hour before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was nice.
That camera angle, it's the best seat in the house.
Yeah,
we set up cameras and record our shows, but that one, that's nice.
Yeah,
and you give performers. That's not special for me. You do that for everyone.
Yeah. Everyone gets that video.
That's great, man.
Nice.
That's great.
It's really helpful too, because one of the things I like best about working this club, about working 4 days a week, as I told you before, is that we have dinner after every other show, and we have constructive criticism, which I crave.
Right.
I'm a better magician today because of the constructive criticism that people have given me. So that piled on to the fact that I get a video of the show right away. I can look at the video and go, oh, I got to change it. So I become a better magician because I get a video every week. You know what I mean? You can critique yourself. Yeah. So those videos are very helpful.
You did I don't want to reveal everything because I want people Googling it, but you did a trick with magic markers. If you're a magician, and a prediction of a house. And you had a tag on the end of that. That's just so simple, but it had me the first time because, my daughter was asking me questions. I'm making sure she's got stuff, and I look down, I look up, and dude.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That little tag just added. It was the address of people. It was the address.
The number.
That tag was like, that's nice.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because I'm so proud of that. It's color match that we're talking about, as you know.
Yeah.
But that thing at the end, I was in the shower one day, and I was doing that, but I was doing it a different way. And I was in the shower one day, and this idea hit me, and that's what you see. And I just love that. And every magician has come up to me and go, "Oh, I love that," and then I would say, "Don't use it."
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say
it. You can use it. You can use it.
I don't want. Nope. It's yours. But here's the thing, man. I don't want to say it on the air, but like my dove trick, you have motivation for that, which makes it.
Motivation for that.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk off the air. We'll talk off the air.
Okay.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Thanks. I just love that so much. I love that so much. I know I have something good when John Stetson, who to me is one of the best mentalists in the world, I know I have something good when he calls me and tells me, "Hey, I really like that bit." So he did that with me on that. He called me and said, "Geez, I love what you're doing with that." So once John gives a thumbs up, I know it's good. Yeah.
Well, here's one of the things I can plug for the Patreon people. I put the whole 25-minute set from your club on
cool.
Patreon so they can see that whole set right there.
Cool,
So
yeah.
the Patreon people can see that full set. But man, it was so good. But I didn't get a copy of your set. Daggone it. I want to see yours.
Oh, I can send it to you.
Send me a set. I won't share it, buddy. I want to see it. I want to remember that weekend, man.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll send it to you.
So daggone funny. It's your room, it's your audience, and you take control of that room.
Well, thank you.
We're coming in there cold. It's we're not used to that room, we're not used to that club, and it seems like you're putting stipulations on us. Don't do your full show, don't do this, don't do that. But here, go. But I'm gonna come after. But it's like, but I don't want to go to. It's hard when you're doing with somebody else because you don't
step on toes.
You don't want to step on toes.
Right.
I don't want to be in your way. It was just
it worked out perfect.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked out perfect. Yeah.
Oh, here's something we can tell the world. He tells me, I'm going to tell the world. He tells me when I walk out there, because I have this big table and I have all this stuff. He said, it looks like a daggone magic shop threw up on that stage. I said, dude, what's magic shoppy about it? And I'm really thinking, I'm like, no, I made that. Play-Doh, I got at the store. What are you talking about? And then I just do this.
But I said that joke. I said that with love and affection.
And I look in his box and I'm like, dude. Come on now. Come on.
Well, that wasn't I didn't mean anything by it, but when this who was there the other day? Was it Mayor? I forget who was there the other day. He had a lot of props. And I said, geez, it looks like a magic shop took a shit on stage is what I said to him, because there was all this, all this proppy stuff, which is fine. I don't mind. It's just an observation. That's all it is.
Well, you had a guy from Vegas. Is it Jason?
Oh, yeah, Jason Bird. Jesus, God, do I love that guy.
Well, I just saw him on stage without anything. So I don't know if he did card magic. I just saw a picture of him on stage, like talking to the audience. So I don't have.
Yeah, Jason, I've only known Jason for a few years. He called me about 4 years ago. He had just moved from Vegas to Connecticut and was looking for, a club. And now he's a big part of our club. And when I can get him, I grab him because he's very, very busy doing cruise ships.
Was he the one at the lecture?
Yeah. Right?
Yes, he was there.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't meet him. Okay.
Yeah, he was there. That's right. Because we talked. Yeah, because he worked with me on Saturday, and he was talking about you. That's right. He was there.
Okay.
Yeah, really super nice guy. I love him. Super nice guy, and a really good magician. He takes the stage, and his magic could suck, but it doesn't. But it could suck, and you would still love him because he's just, he's got the likable factor. He's a great guy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So another cool thing. You talk about that you've done hypnosis and you worked on all these high school events and everything. And bye. Your wife is saying
my wife. I didn't know if you could see her or not.
Yeah, I can see her. Bye, honey. She's not blowing kisses. So
I forgot you can see the doorway through the living room.
Oh, she is blowing me kisses. So you've done all these events, and you just mentioned in your show, because you have this one routine, which I love, with a lime and and you mentioned that you did hypnosis.
Yeah.
And I've done thousands of performances. Anybody in this room? And the dude right beside me raised his hand that you hypnotized him at his high school.
Oh yeah, crazy, right?
That's so neat. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the road for like 25 years on the college market as a hypnotist. Because when I got into hypnosis in the late 90s, it was very difficult to book magicians. It was very difficult to book myself as a magician in the college market, but it was easy to book myself as a hypnotist in the college market. And the money was better back then. That's not the case now. So that's why I went into the college market as a hypnotist, and I stayed in that market for about 25 years. When I started with this club 13 years ago, I was a house hypnotist, and I did hypnosis shows 2 to 3 times a month for all those years. And then 8 years ago, we started talking about doing magic shows. So that's what happened there. But yeah, hypnosis was fun, and I enjoyed it, but I've had my fill. Although I just did 40 shows at Six Flags. That was
Oh, that's a lot.
40 hypnosis shows at Six Flags in 5 weeks. I was doing 3 shows a day every weekend. And that was fun. But you know, magic's always been my first love. It's been my first love, like you, since I was a kid. And you know, I had this very, very, very really good paying hypnosis show one day, not too long ago, and it sucked. And I would have much rather been at the club making what we make at the club as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? That's how much I love doing magic at the club. I'd rather be doing the magic at the club than making the big money over here as a hypnotist. Probably sounds stupid to most people, but
No,
that's how
no,
much I love that room.
I have rooms like that. I have rooms where it's like, you know, you do.
Right?
I look at it as it's 45 minutes left. You know, I get that paycheck in 45 minutes. Just plug through. Just keep going. This isn't one of the fun. This isn't just put your head down and keep going. We've had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't go through. I try to fake it.
Right.
I don't put it in neutral. I try to still.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I try to still give the best I can.
Talk about it later.
We both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you tell? You couldn't tell, could you?
You can't.
Well, I was just going straight, Natalie. Could you tell? I was just ready to get out of that one 2 minutes into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some shows sadly become money gigs. I mean, not that I'm a wealthy man, but I never did shows for the money. I always did it because I loved it, and then I wanted to make money, you know. But after a while, some shows you do some shows just for the money, and those have a tendency to suck.
Yeah. Those aren't,
That makes sense. That makes sense, right?
It does make sense. It does, absolutely.
I mean, I you know, that damn casino gig, man. I just love that gig. I don't care if there's 2 people in the audience, if there's 200 people in the audience, if I'm making $10, if I'm making $1,500, I don't care. It's just one of those gigs that it's magic. Number one, number two, the people are there to see magic. So, you know, it's great.
So when you did your hypnosis shows, did you do any magic at all in it?
No.
Did you mention that you were a magician as well?
Yeah, well, during my magic show, I mentioned the fact that I'm a hypnotist as well, only to do that one bit.
But you do vice versa?
No, and people would ask me, "Can you do some magic with the hypnosis?" And I refused to because I didn't want people to think that hypnosis was magic or that it was bullshit or wasn't real. You know what I mean? So that's why I did not want them to think that hypnosis was a magic trick.
Me with marketing, I always want people to know what else I can do. I can also juggle, you know?
Yeah, I used to be the same way when I was young. I do this, I do that, I do that, and then finally I just focused on one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never wanted to combine magic with hypnosis just for that reason. Well, this is a trick. It's really not real. Those people aren't really hypnotized. You know, then that hypnosis show loses credibility. So that's why I never did magic with it.
You're planting their
makes
mind.
sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Although I do know some guy. In fact, there's a guy who's a magician. You know, George Sands. You know, the rope guy. His kid. He's probably close to my age, but he does magic with hypnosis, I believe. Several guys do that, but I never did it.
Well, your club is like your home. I mean, that's your home base. Everything else, you always go back to that club.
Yeah, it's so I am so lucky, man. It's like yeah, I love magic. I love gambling. I love casinos. I'm doing it all in one place. It's really great. I meet nice people like you. I mean, this job is perfect, right?
Well, we have resorts like that. It's a place where we buy a new trick or buy a new illusion. Will it fit that resort? Because the angles here are the worst.
Yeah.
So if it plays there, it'll play anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, I'd love to see your illusion show.
Yeah.
Is it a half hour illusion show? Is it an hour illusion show?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half illusion show?
Yeah.
Ooh, I would
We
love
got
to.
Saturday, Arlington Draft House, Arlington, Virginia. It's only 9 hours. Come on. I'll get you in. I'll put a note at the door. I'll get you.
I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate that.
You can sleep.
An hour and a half illusion show. Wow. With just the two of you?
Yeah. Well, my little girl, but yeah, it's just us two.
Wow.
Yeah. We do a 15-minute intermission and then, yeah.
What are some of the effects you're doing?
Go ahead, Natalie.
Yeah, Nat.
Oh, it depends on the show. As far as like illusions go,
Yeah.
we've done floating box, metamorphosis, what's the proper name for the mini cube? Mini cube.
A cube zag, but it's 3 cubes.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
way better than the 2 cube. I don't like the 2 cube one. I feel like my little girl could figure that one out.
Yeah. Sword basket.
But my sword basket is a cloth sword basket from Tilford, Douglas Tilford. And it is, I don't fit in it. And I don't know how she fits in it. Just to fit in it before the swords and me walking around inside and everything.
Yeah.
And I wish I could buy 2 more because
Wow.
I worked the heck out of this one. This is a fooler, man. I love it.
And we have Dollhouse. We have, what's the other version of that called?
I have a production I saw in a magazine that Peter Samuelson, I think, had an inflatable egg. Oh. It was inflatable like parachute material. And it was an egg, almost like Mork and Mindy. I think I saw it early 80s because Mork and Mindy was around that time.
Peter
so I think so. And I think that's where I got the inspiration from. And then I have a bass and a leaf blower and it inflates. And it's like a telephone booth.
Yeah.
So it goes from nothing, it inflates, and then I rip through it. And that's my opening half the time we do illusion shows. That's how I start. Because while the announcement's going playing my name, yeah, the cues are built into the announcement.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What else? What are their illusions?
Well, you have the. It just depends. We move stuff in and out, so I forget about some.
So she was pregnant. I was proud of it that I turned a mailbag escape into a metamorphosis.
Wow.
So she couldn't do the big jumping around.
Yeah.
But if you put her in a mailbag, put handcuffs on her, lock her in a mailbag, and lock it, lift up the curtain, have the audience count down 30 seconds. So Mission Impossible music played, and they count down 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27. By the time we get to 20, she's lowering the curtain, being pregnant. And then I'm in the bag, into everything. Yeah. So
that's great.
You have it backwards. We did it the other way. You got in first because I needed help getting up.
Well, that makes sense.
So we ended with me in the bag so that you could help me up. Because at 9 months pregnant, I needed help getting up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Oh, I'd love to see that. Oh my gosh.
Man, when she was pregnant, we worked up until the day she gave birth. We planned the birth. We had it. What is it?
We induced Lana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was supposed to be due on New Year's, and I had a resort show. So what am I going to do, Doc? Help me.
Yeah.
So we had her induced, but we worked up until the day she got induced, and we had code words like spaghetti. If she spit spaghetti for any reason at the show, there's no reason to say spaghetti during the show. So if she says spaghetti, I need to get out of the show as quick as I can because her water's broke. We got to go.
Yeah.
So she was born December 31st or January 1st?
She was due on the 31st. We induced on the 27th. She took her came out on the 28th.
Gotcha. So she got a birthday coming up.
She does. She'll be 12.
Wow.
12. I know.
Don't even ask me how old my daughter is. But anyway.
Aww.
So how often does your daughter get to come to see the show?
My daughter. My daughter, who's 50 years old, stopped coming to my hypnosis shows at the club because my hypnosis shows at the club were rated R, and she thought I was a little bit over the edge, so she stopped coming. But that's what sold that show, an R-rated hypnosis show. I mean, it sells, you know. So after a while, she goes, I think I've seen enough of this. But
all right, so I want you to put this on your website because it's classic. My 11-year-old goes to your show, and you're like, I don't recommend it. Trust me, my 11-year-old, she grew up in a show business family. She knows it.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think of his show? It was good, which is awesome for her.
Yes.
Number one.
High compliment from.
And then so was he funny? What'd you think of all the cursing? She said, it made it funnier.
Isn't that funny?
That's from the 11-year-old.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's a niche that I found. I mean, it's not for everybody, obviously. That's why we tell people before they walk in, this is not your kid's magic show. And the majority of the people have been cool with it. I don't think I've not had anyone walk out because I worked risque. Not I've had people walk out, but not because I was risque. But
We
again,
had somebody there the day we were there. I won't say any names, but you were saying they seemed a little uptight, but at the end they loved it. So you kind of got them on your side.
well, you know what's funny is sometimes I'll notice that people are a little uptight initially, but then a quarter of the way through it, I can tell that they've lightened up and they go, "Oh, well, this is what I mean." Because my language, my language is kind of blue, but I'm not talking like some comedians can be filthy.
Right.
Talking about
Yours is silly language. It's just
right.
Silly. It's
No.
funny.
Yeah.
It's not vulgar and mean and hateful. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, and I think it comes across as tongue in cheek, and that's what I want. So yeah. So I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, which is fine, but it's worked for me at the club for the past 13 years, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, here's a funny thing. I got to see 2 shows in a row, and we had a trick with a house and a bush over here, and then you did 20 minutes on a bush with the one day, and then you had a younger volunteer, which was old enough to be in a nightclub, old enough to be in the thing, and you're like, and here's the house, and here's a tree thing. I don't know, and you just moved on. You're like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So you censored yourself, even though it's an adult comedy show, even though it's over the top and silly.
Yeah,
you still censor yourself.
Yeah, the problem is, I mean, the lines that I say work if someone's closer to my age. I'm 74, so to say that line as a 74-year-old to a 24-year-old girl is creepy as hell, right? It can be creepy. It can be creepy, even though it's in the context of a comedy show. So, I try to edit myself at times. You know what I mean?
Well, some of the people near us, when you edited yourself, it's like, where was he going with that? They were wanting to know what you were editing.
Oh, really?
Yesterday's show, you would have. I can't go there though. And then people are like,
that's a great observation on your part. Thank you very much. That's funny. Yeah, you
said it out loud. You said it out loud.
Yeah.
If you were here yesterday, you know where this goes, but I can't go there.
Yeah, the other day I had a it was a relatively younger crowd, and I was doing that chop cut routine that I did, and there's a couple of lines in there that I thought I can't say these lines because this kid was so young,
Right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think it's just trial and error. You just got to don't try to censor yourself because they're getting what they're getting. I really,
I
don't censor your show too much because a young crowd.
Yeah.
They hear it. I brought my 11-year-old. Don't censor yourself.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I've had people go, hey, that was funny, but it was a little, I go, no, I understand. So I try to get older people at times. I mean, I've said those lines using younger women in those tricks, and it's going over. But a couple of times it was like, so.
Well, we have that. I told you about that cell phone trick we have, and if I bought a younger person, they just lock up on stage. That magician broke my phone. There's nothing I can do. But if I get a grandma up there and break her phone, she's like, "Oh, honey, I'll never be able to turn that thing on anyway." Oh, I guess my grandson can figure out. I guess I got insurance. They have the lines that they come off with where young kids just lock up. I had a young mom last time I was at the Arlington Draft House. I thought she was a teenager, but she was a young mom.
Yeah.
And she just locked up. I'm brutalizing her phone. She thinks I'm nailing it with a hammer and throwing it off the thing, and she just locked up. And it's like, that's not fun. Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Anyway, it for the most part, it's been working. For the most part, it's been working for me there. So, and I can do clean shows, by the way.
I believe it.
Because I had a club. A club said there was this clubhouse I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do for years. It's very popular, and someone said to me, "You'll never get that club because of the way you work, blue." And they ended up booking me because I promised them I would do it clean, So because people think, oh my God, that's all you just do R-rated shows all the time. No, I do clean shows. Yeah. But
I'm so worried about letting anything slip. But at your club, I was like, this is awesome. I could say whatever I wanted to say. I did, but still, but it's like it's nice to be free like that. You could
nice.
And try things out. That's a great place just to try out things. And can I take this show little bit further because I'm not going to get in trouble here.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
What
you know,
I really,
I got
what I
yelled
really
at.
like about, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
What I really like about performing at that club is because I am still in the college market, and I really have to watch myself with the pronouns nowadays. Because that's a big issue, and I'm an old guy and I'm trying to learn it, but it's very difficult. So I'm always on edge when I'm at a college, but at the club, I don't care. So there is a lot of freedom at that club, and that's what I really, really like. You know, and at a comedy club, if you're offended, see you later.
Right.
But at a college, I have to bite my tongue a lot. It's not that I'm dirty at a college. It's just like, the he's and the she's and hers and hims. It's hard for an old guy for me to try to, figure that out properly. So
It's hard for us.
it's tough. I mean, you're on stage, you're concentrating on your presentation, but you're also worried about, what do I call this person? It's like it becomes too much at times. So again, that's why I love the club. It's just whatever I say. That's it.
Yeah. Dude, we had such a blast. We love it. You've become like family to us. I tell you.
Thanks. I love you for that. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys doing this for me. It was just a blast. It was just a blast. Now I'm really anxious about this possibility of you guys coming back east, do that little tour of yours.
Well, good. Maybe we'll get to hang out more. Here's the other thing, though. I mean, I want everybody to know how great of a guy this is. Right? Okay. He's this blue comedian, comedy magician. Maybe he says some bad words in his show. Maybe his website's holyshitjim.com. Maybe people have something. Dude, he's a big teddy bear. Yeah. He not only make sure that we have everything we need, make sure everything's good for us. That he Googled the restaurant, got our phone number, got everything, and even called the restaurant and found out if they ordered the pizza at this time, it would be ready for the kids at this time when the kids are ready to eat. How are the kids doing? Where are the kids at? How are the kids doing? He constantly checked in on us, got us the videos so I could watch it an hour after the show, texted it to both shows. I have full coverage of my video. Dude, above and beyond. I can't think of enough.
Okay, stop. Thank you.
No.
I appreciate those kind words. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
You're good to us, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I love you guys. I love doing this, man. This life for me at this age is doing this shit. All this is just perfect, isn't it? Perfect. Doing magic every day, meeting people like you every day. It's just I'm the luckiest guy man. Yeah.
So anything for the listeners out there, holyshitgem.com. Can they find you on Instagram? Oh, you have TikTok as well. I'm seeing you on TikTok.
Yeah, but I have all that stuff, but again, I'm too old for that stuff. I post up every now and then, but the club has a marketing firm that they're going to start doing TikTok videos and Instagram, so I don't have to do it anymore. I don't do too much of it. I do a lot of Facebook, as you know.
So who's doing your TikTok? I saw some the other day. I'm loving them.
Well, the stuff whatever you see on TikTok is what I've done.
Okay, I love it.
If I was, but you should be. Was it Nat? Nat? You said do 3 stories a day. That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 stories a day plus TikTok plus Instagram is like that's. Whew.
Yeah.
Again, I'm of another generation, so hopefully the club's marketing people will start doing all that stuff for me. They just put together a couple of new videos that I'm waiting to see. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. Awesome. Dude, we love you. Thank you for doing this today. I know you got something going on tonight. Thank you for your time and your schedule and doing this with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You know how much I love you guys. And again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I'm really excited about the possibility of you coming back east.
No, we got to do it.
Well, I'm going to email Tom Gentile right after we get off this because I got his card downstairs on my desk. So we just got to figure out when we can get up north. The earliest we can get up where we won't get snowed in and stuck somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, you got to take that into consideration. Yeah. And I do believe I'm in Hartford today. I do believe I will see Tom tonight. So, and if I do, I'll mention the fact that you may be contacting him about this.
Sounds good, man. Hey,
great. Thank you, guys.
Love you. You have a great party. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon, man.
And Merry Christmas, my friends. Yes.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Hey, seriously, we love you. Thank you for everything.
Oh, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. Stop it.
I think the only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
See you next week.
Check us out online at wesiseli.com and patreon.com/Wes_Iseli. for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.